Hello everybody, Muter Overkill here once again at long last, giving you the updated Orichalcos deck profile. This is a more minor update. There are some new Oricas in the deck, and plus I have some more Oricas I just ordered on the way. But I'm going to try and keep those a surprise for when people actually duel me. And another thing is that I'm thinking of doing a soul wipe for the summer. Maybe either after the new ban list comes in effect or when links come into effect. I haven't decided yet, but probably when links come into effect, I'll wipe off the soul wall, get a fresh start for the new concept and format, and obviously this deck's going to have to change and be updated a lot when links come out. So that's pretty much that. But this is the deck as it is right now, and probably until links come out. I have a few last minute Oricas on the way for this deck, and probably going to stay in the deck until for link format as well. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the deck. I'm not going to explain everything in great detail just because I've done that so many times already, and you can go back to my older videos or just ask me if you want to know more details. But we have the two Kutora, which is this starts the main engine of the deck. If you've seen the anime, you know what they do. So we have one Shinros, Dexia, and an Aristeros. Again, part of the main engine. And then the win condition of Divine Serpent with his infinite attack points, but winner take all playstyle. So you just attack for infinite and one all or nothing attack, and hopefully it hits, otherwise you lose the game. Pretty much. Okay, one Gygus. This card's kind of irrelevant in today's meta. I basically just keep it for nostalgia's sake. I'm thinking of actually excluding this card completely, but the deck doesn't feel complete without it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to explain in great detail some of the older cards, but he's just there, I guess. And he's a level 4 if I want to do rank 4 plays. The 3 Orichalcos Soldier cards, just 2000 beater vanillas that you use with Orichalcos Rescue Rabbit. Literally the same effect as Rescue Rabbit, but it has Orichalcos named, so I can search it with other cards in the deck. Obviously, this concept is probably going to have to, this whole thing right here is probably going to have to change or be removed or updated when links come out. Okay, now we have one Orichalcos Magician Girl, probably my best looking Orica in the deck right now. So when she's in my hand or in the graveyard while Seal of Orichalcos is on the field, I can special summon her from my hand or graveyard. Then I can only control one of these face up on the field at a time, and then then she gains 300 attack for every Orichalcos monster in both players' graveyards, which is mostly just going to be my graveyard. So that's a pretty good card. It's also a 6-star, so it's a tribute for my Mirror Knight ritual. Then we have Tyler the Fourth Swordsman. I decided, sometimes I decide to exclude this just because of how powerful it is, but I really like this card just as a card, I guess. But when it's summoned, I get to search one Seal of Orichalcos, Orichalcos Deuteros, and Orichalcos Tritos from my deck to my hand. And so already gets a +3. It's a Stratos on crack. And then I get to... It can't do damage to my opponent. It can't inflict battle damage to my opponent, and he does not gain attack from the Seal of Orichalcos, nor can he be placed in the back row. He's totally unaffected by the seal. And then... let's see, what else? Oh yeah, if I control an Orichalcos Kutora, I can, during either player's turn, tribute this card to have Kutora absorb damage equal to this card's attack. Which is pretty nice. For hand traps, we have one Max C, and 2 of a new card I just got today. This is Dark Honest. I'm not really that happy about the name. I'd rather it be called like Dishonest or Untrustworthy. There's so many better ideas for a name other than Dark Honest. But I didn't get him for the name, I got him for the effect. His effect is pretty self-explanatory, being a Dark Honest, but he does have some other quirks that the other Honest doesn't, that the real Honest doesn't have, so I'm going to keep those a mystery for the time being. And then the last monster of the deck is one Mirror Knight Calling. My only ritual monster. Essentially another win condition, because just because of how powerful this card is when it comes out. If you don't like strike the effect of summoning the tokens, you will get obliteratomized. For spell cards, we have the Fearsome Seal of Orichalcos, with the Upper Deck Entertainment effect, the one where you can pitch it from your hand and negate and destroy anything. The whole premise of this challenge is that you defend your soul from the Seal of Orichalcos. So in the Seal of so part of the rules of the challenge is that the challenge is initially a 2 out of 3 match. Unless this is activated, then it becomes a duel for the soul, in which the player who wins the duel wins that entire match, and then if I win, I get your soul, and then if I lose, I have to free a soul that I already have, or if I have no souls to spare, I have to give up my own soul. So that's the seal. And we have Deuteros and Tritos, the other layers of the seal. You can't play them all in one turn. You have to play them in order. They each make the seal more powerful with other special effects. One terraforming for all the field spells. Then we play one Orichalcos Eye. This card is very good. It's a continuous spell where once a turn I can pay 1,000 to search an Orichalcos card from my deck or graveyard to my hand. So the ability to just search once a turn or recycle something from my graveyard once a turn is very good. I can grab Seal back and negate something else with this. Or it really gets me whatever I need, basically. Another card that gets me basically whatever I need are 3 Orichalcos Matia. Not as powerful as Orichalcos Eye, but still very good. Once per turn, I pay 800 life points to add an Orichalcos card from my deck to my hand, and I can only use one of these a turn. For drawing, we have Upstart Goblin and 2 Allure of Darkness. Most of the deck is dark. And then my only other draw power card in the main deck is, well, other than the traps, is Roll of Fate. I'm trying this card out. It just seemed like a fun idea. I roll a 6-sided die, then I draw cards equal to the result, and then mill cards equal to the result. So it's a better Sixth Sense, which is, like, how could Sixth Sense be even better? But that's what it is. I think this can be less powerful or more powerful than Nibelung's Treasure, depending on what you roll. So that's why I chose to run this for now over Nibelung's Treasure. Generic stuff, we have Regeki and 2 MSTs to hit things like field spells. I know traps aren't very prevalent right now, but I like having MST to hit things like field spells. And then 1 Orichalcos Mirror for the ritual spell monster, the Mirror Knight Calling. Probably one of my new favorite cards in the deck. This is Doppelganger or Mimicat, the anime version, where I can pick a card on either side of the field or in either player's graveyard, and this card essentially turns into a copy of that card with all its effects and name and everything like that. Okay, now for trap cards. We have 2 Poor Man's Psalm Strikes and 1 Briar Transplant. This is my out to things like things like Chaos Max and Dryden and just stuff that I can't get around by any other way, because all this does, it just banishes a card on the field without targeting it. So that's pretty darn good. Then we have Orichalcos Stone. This card is broken. Okay, so when my opponent declares an attack, I flip this up. I draw 3 cards, and then their turn ends. Broken. And then, but that's not all it does. I hardly ever use this second effect, but if I draw any non-Orichalcos cards, I can reveal them to shuffle the non-Orichalcos cards back into my deck, and then search Orichalcos cards in their place. So yeah, like I said, this card is just super broken. So after Orichalcos Stone, that's it for the main deck. Sorry for the cutoff there, I got interrupted. So yeah, it's a 40 card main deck, and then for the extra deck's not complete yet. There's still some things I'm missing, and some things I've ordered that have not appeared, that have not shown up yet. Plus, I'm working with a buddy of mine on some link format cards for the Orichalcos. So this is the extra deck as it is right now. 3 Orichalcos Dragons. It's a rank 4, requires 2 Orichalcos monsters, and once per turn, I can detach a material to search an Orichalcos card from my deck or graveyard and add it to my hand. Pretty damn good. Also, that 3,000 attack, yo. Yep. Pretty good. Okay, we have 2 Utopias. He really serves no purpose other than going into other monsters of the deck, like Lightning. When I have a Lightning on the way, I just don't have it yet, but Utopia the Lightning is going to be in the extra deck when I get it. And we also go into Orichalcos Sealed Utopia. This is why I run 2 Utopias. One for Lightning and one for this guy, when I get Lightning, and then one for this guy. So he's a level 4 fusion, same stats as Utopia, and then he can only be summoned from the extra deck by banishing one of these and discarding an Orichalcos monster from my hand, and then banishing Utopia from the extra deck, I should say. Then while he's on the field, once per turn, I can discard a card to draw a card, and then if he attacks or is attacked, my opponent can discard a spell to destroy him before damage. So he's a pretty good card. Then lastly, for the extra deck, we have a Castel, an Abyss Dweller, and a Cowboy. That's really all the real stuff I could spare that I'm not running in other decks right now. So lastly, we move on to the side deck, which isn't a lot right now. It's going to change. But we have one Great Leviathan. I decided to move him to the side deck because he's really, really powerful. He's really hard to summon, but when he hits the field, it's essentially game over, really. So I decided to move him to the side deck. The side deck is a difficulty increase more than anything, I would say, because like my more powerful cards I keep in the side deck for reserves if I feel I'm having a tough time in a challenge. We played 2 Dark Holes. I moved these to the side deck because things like True Kings and Dinosaurs, they benefit from getting Dark Hold. So if I'm playing a deck that's not True King or Dinosaurs or True Dracos, I side in Dark Hole. So yeah. Then we have the OP card itself, Nibelung's Treasure. I move this from the main deck to the side deck from time to time, off and on. It might be in there one time and then not another. Just depends on my mood, depends on how broken I want to be, really. But Nibelung's Treasure, you all know what it does. You activate a spell from your deck onto your opponent's side of the field, and then draw 5 cards after that spell card resolves. One really dirty thing to do is activate this, give them Allure of Darkness. They don't have a dark, so they ditch their whole hand, and then you draw 5. It's really stupid. Which is why it's not in the main deck. And then for side deck traps, you have 1 Warning, 1 Torrential, and 1 Bottomless, just some extra traps. Obviously the side deck is going to change because I have some more stuff on the way, and just some stuff I'm messing around with in my spare time and designing. So that's basically the gist of the Orichalcos deck. Rules for the challenge are still the same. No Burnstall decks and no Exodia decks. Basically, any variants of Burnstall are banned from the challenge, and any variants of Exodia are banned from the challenge. Just because, well, who really likes playing against that? Meta's allowed. I am final judge on rulings with my Orica cards. And that's pretty much all I can say. Like I said, I'm going to do a another update pretty soon in Link format. I'm probably gonna do a soul wipe when Link format comes around to kind of bring a fresh new thing to the challenge. I'm also gonna have some Link monsters in the deck, some Orichalcos Link monsters, so that'll be cool. And then that pretty much sums it up. I got some souls, having a lot of fun. Oh, if you have an Orichalcos deck too, please keep taking the soul of your friends. Make the Great Leviathan as happy as you possibly can. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. Mutual Overkill out. Thanks, everybody, for watching.